Hi, I'm Shelley. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to talk about all the books I finished in January month. In total I read 8 books. One I started in towards the end of December and I finished it on January 1st. And the other 7 books I read in January. They were all fiction. And the genres that I read were thriller, mystery, fantasy, classics, literary, and crime. And the first one, the one that I started in, they're not in the right order. The one I started in December was A Christmas Carol and Other Holiday Treasures by Charles Dickens. I started this one in, like I said, during Christmas week, actually. And so I always read A Christmas Carol every year. And I picked this one up and I read 3 of the stories in December, and then I read the last 2 in January 1st. I read The Battle of Life and The Haunted Man and the Ghost Bargain, which were written in 1846 and 1848. So these aren't like typical happy Christmas stories. They're the bleak Victorian era Christmas stories. But I do enjoy Charles Dickens' writing. And I did enjoy all the stories in this book. And then next year, this Christmas, I will probably read A Christmas Carol again, leading up to Christmas. So that's that one. And the next one I read, well, actually, I had an early review audio copy of this one here, Adrift in Currents Clean and Clear by Seanan and McGuire. I've mentioned this one before on my channel. This is the 10th book in the Wayward Children series. And in this story is about Nadia and the world that she went to. She was in one of the earlier books in this series, and in that one it's when she came back. But this is how she ended up in her world, and what happened while she was gone there. In these stories, I mentioned in my other videos, the Wayward Children series, children find doors in different places. Usually it's in nature. Usually it's when the world is becoming very difficult for them. They have troubles at home or whatnot. And they find these doors, and on the door it always says, "Are you sure?" Because once you go through that world, well, you more or less usually you stay there. And she found her door and went through. This is about when she was little. She was an orphan. She's missing one of her arms. And I liked how this story was written because she grew up in Russia without the full use of her arms, but she never had a prosthetic on her arm in Russia, and she never thought that she had a disability. She was fine with she was used to using what she had. And when she went and she was adopted, and then her parents fitted her for a prosthetic arm. I think she was 11, I'm not quite sure. And they didn't really ask her. And of course, she really kind of talks about how she felt with the arm and how it made her feel. And I thought the way this book was written was really good, talking about this person's disability, and to them, whether or not it's really a disability. It should be up to that person and not someone else's opinion. So I really did enjoy this one. I've enjoyed all the books in this series, and hopefully there's another one next year. The next book I read was Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney, which is this one here. And this one is a mystery thriller. It's about an author, Grady Green, who's having the, quote, he's having the worst, best day of his life. He calls his wife to share some exciting news about a new book that he's getting published. And she's on her way home. And he's talking to her on the phone, and he hears her stop the car. And she says there's someone in the road, and she gets out, and she's never heard from again. So, and it picks up a year later. Grady's still overcome with grief and desperate to know what happened to Abby. He can't sleep and he can't write. So his agent sends him to a tiny remote Scottish island to try to get his life on back. And then while he's on the island, he thinks he sees her. And of course, people are not what they seem on the island. And everyone seems suspicious to him, of course. And I was surprised. Of course, I won't give it away, but I was really surprised about the twists at the end of the book. And it was slow in parts. But I really enjoyed the setting on a remote island, of course, and a writer. So I did really enjoy that part. And of course, I like the part with an author a writer. And I do enjoy books like that, books about authors who are writing stories. And I did enjoy this one. And the next one I read is A Woman on the Edge by Samantha M. Bailey. This one is a psychological thriller. And this one, Morgan Kincaid, she's on her way home from work, and she's waiting at the subway, and a mother begs her to take her baby, and then jumps in front of an oncoming train. She's never seen this woman before, and she don't know why she chose her in the crowd. So, of course, this book is all about, she's trying to find out why the woman gave her the baby, and what the connection is between them. And then it goes back and forth, because there's Morgan, and it's also the woman who gave her the baby. Her name's Nicole. And it's also from her point of view what's going on in her life, just after she has this baby. And she starts to become paranoid, so you don't know if what she's thinking is really true, or if she's just being paranoid. So I really did enjoy this one, because going back and forth between the two main characters really kept the story going. And yep, I enjoyed this one. This year I'm not really giving ratings to books. I tend to give books higher ratings, but because mostly when I read a book, if I'm reading it and I'm enjoying it, I'm going to finish it. And most of the times I do end up really enjoying it. And if I'm starting to read a book and I'm not really enjoying it, well, usually I don't finish it. I'll put it down. I won't finish the book right then and there. I might give it another chance. But so normally when I read books, I'm reading them. I pick books that I think I would enjoy. And that's the way I go with my books. And the next book I read is Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands by Heather Fawcett. And this is book 2 of the Emily Wilde series. In this one, mysterious fairies from other realms appear at a university. And Emily Wilde must uncover their secrets before it's too late. And I can't really say why they're there, because it would probably give away some of the story. And plus, well, the first book in the series, I can probably read you the first book, was Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. And Emily Wilde, she's a professor at a university, and she goes to a small town to study fairy folklore and discovers dark fae magic. and she meets Wendell Bambleby, and he thinks he's more or less God's gift to women, I think, and she's like has no interest in him, so you kind of know where that's going to lead. But I did enjoy it. It's not. I find some fantasies are a little bit over my head, but I find where it's funny, it's humorous at times, and it's kind of a bit on the lighter side. So I did enjoy the second one, and actually the third one is out now, and I'm waiting on that one to come in the mail so I can read that one in March month. The next one, I just turned off my phone. The next one I read is To Tell You the Truth by Gilly Macmillan. I read that one. I'll try to put a picture up here. I read that one in ebook, and I also listened. I got the audiobook from my library, so I listened to the audiobook as well. And this one is also about an author. I didn't realize I was picking two books about an author at the time. On this one, I'll just read a bit here. It's about a missing child and about the life of a writer. So at the beginning of the book, the author is a child, and she's in the woods with her brother, and he goes missing. And then it kind of goes fast forwards to her life as an author, and then partway through the book, her husband goes missing as well, and it kind of flashes back and forth in between, gives little snippets of what happened the night her brother went missing when she was just a little girl, and I really did enjoy the story in this one because where it went back and forth, you were kind of figure out, okay, who's the bad guy and what's this person up to, and is her husband involved and things like that. So I did enjoy that story. The next one is just two more left. I read the Lola Quartet by Emily St. John Mandel. This one is the Lola Quartet is Jack, Daniel, Sasha, and Gavin, and they're four talented musicians. And the book, it kind of starts in their high school careers, kind of like they have the last concert, and that night Gavin's girlfriend Anna disappears, and then 10 years later Gavin sees a photograph of a little girl who looks uncannily like him and who shares Anna's surname. And suddenly he finds himself catapulted back to a secretive past he didn't realize he'd left behind. That photo is set off a cascade of dangerous consequences, and as one by one, the members of the Lola Quartet are reunited, a terrifying story emerges of innocent mistakes, of secrecy, and a life lived on the run. And I really liked this one, this storyline. It was a mystery, but like this, it's not a thriller, just like a mystery going throughout. Daniel sees a picture of a child that looks just like his girlfriend who kind of went missing 10 years before. And it kind of shows the connections between the four members of the quartet, Jack, Daniel, Sasha, and Gavin, and what happened to them in those 10 years, and they kind of, their lives went because of what certain decisions they make along the way. Gavin makes some decisions that he shouldn't have, and of course he suffers the consequences, and ends up back where they went to school, and then he kind of finds out more from some of the other quartet what happened, and tries to find Anna. And I really enjoyed the mystery because it kept going back and forth between all the characters, like what's happening now, what happened back then, and in between those 10 years. So I really did enjoy this story. It was really good. And the last book that I read in January was Fatal Voyage by Kathy Reichs. And this is the fourth book in the Temperance Brennan series. And in this book, I probably won't go into a lot of detail. In this book, commercial jetliner disasters brought Tempe Brennan to the North Carolina mountains as a member of the investigative agency DMORD. So she starts off investigating a plane crash, and it really goes into detail, like what's involved when there's a plane crash, what different teams are involved, and how those teams work together to solve like what happened, and solve the people behind the scenes. I mean, the people that deal with family members and friends of the people who died in the plane crash and whatnot. And of course, in this one, Temperance Brennan, in an area of the crash site, she finds something and realizes it's not connected to the plane crash, of course, so it kind of goes off from there. But this book does do a good job of describing what happens like after the aftermath of a plane crash and how it's dealt with the various teams involved. And I did enjoy this one. And that's it for January month. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again with another video soon. Bye.